Do we have a problem? Debuts at number 2. Do we have a problem? I don't think that this is a problem at all. This is a win. This is a hit. It's much better than Bussin'. Bussin' is very much so like what somebody said, it was like Remy Ma releasing the second diss record after she released Sheether. Bussin' to me is a flop. Okay. Do we have a problem is the record. And I believe that Do We Have a Problem will stick on the charts. Now, there people are saying that Do We Have a Problem will free fall off the charts. Some people are saying that this is an L for Nicki Minaj. Some people are saying that this is a curse for Nicki Minaj. Let's be very clear. A number 2 debuting record is a great thing, especially for her. Now, I understand Nicki Minaj has yet to have a number 1 record of her own in her career. So being in the game 14 years, at some point, the expectation is, girl, you should be able to get a record that is your own. Now, in her defense, I believe that they changed the streaming qualifications for Billboard. I don't think they're counting, and I could be wrong, but I don't think they're counting YouTube streams anymore. So I think she may have lost a lot of numbers because the YouTube stuff didn't count. So I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I like this record. I'm not going to say that this record is a flop. Even if it falls, this still is a solid record. And I think she should be proud of this record. This was a good record. Everybody was singing it. Everybody was excited. I was at the clubs. I was outside for this weekend. And when this record came on, everybody loved it. Bustin' came on, niggas was going to get drinks, water. Nobody really cared. This record, the people like this record. The people like to sing along to this record. The people like to point their finger to this record. The people like to, I don't care how long it take to get a op back. All my niggas outside, steak, we out back. However it go. People like that. I like that. So I think that this is a solid record. Do We Have a Problem is a great record to start off this era with Nicki Minaj. I don't know what Busted is giving. Scrap that. Move on. Let it go. Keep the Do We Have a Problem energy. I like it. And people should keep streaming it. Who knows? It may go number 1 the next week. Now, I did see that it has moved down on the playlist, though, drastically. And usually when things start moving down off the playlist, that means it's the priority. The people are not really feeling it. It's not growing. Like on Spotify and Rap Caviar, it's kind of moved down. It's moving down on the playlist, too. But I don't know. We'll see. It will be interesting to see if Nicki Minaj can get this to be a number 1. I don't think Bussin' is gonna do anything near what Do We Have a Problem has done. It was interesting though because I felt like she was trying to get everybody prepared because she knew it wasn't gonna go number 1. Let me go to my Instagram. She kind of knew it wasn't gonna go number 1, so she was kind of trying to get her fans prepared for that moment. Look, y'all, let's start by saying I don't need to go number 1. I am. Oh no, this was earlier today. But she was talking about how no matter what happens, Barbs, you guys did your thing, this, that, and the third. But now she's basically, this is I guess her ranting about she don't need to go number 1. She is number 1. First of all, let's stop there, Nicki. You definitely want to I hate when people try to downplay she don't want to go number 1. Girl, you were posting all of your stats. Be very clear. You were sitting on StationHead going on bar pages and things like that. And then when they wouldn't play the record, you were damn near ready to get off the song, get off of their channels. Be very clear. So to sit up here and act like you don't want to be number 1, you were only on StationHead so that you can get those streams, and you are going to different pages with thousands of people listening. making sure that they streamed that record. You wanted a number one record. Don't sit up here and act like you don't need to go number one. You wanted a number one record. You do. You wanted a number one record. You like trending on Twitter. You like the stats. Stop doing that. Let people should just be real. Just say, listen, we didn't get it. It ain't, but we got number two. That's a lot more than she's been getting on her own. Let's be very clear. And then to be honest with you, she had the little baby help. I mean, can you get a number two? I would like to see her get a number two by herself. No feature. You know what I mean? So let's not act like you don't want a number one record. She wants a number one record. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and act like this record is just a flop like that. I don't think the record is a flop. This record is a solid record. I wish it would have went number one. So I don't know. A lot of people laughing and talking crap about it and, wanting the record to be trash. The record is not trash. And a lot of people that's listening to the record, a lot of people that's saying the record is trash, you guys are listening to the record. Let's stop acting like the record is trash. The record is not trash. Okay? The record is not trash. Bussin' is trash. Do we have a problem? It's not trash. All right? All right, so we'll open up the lines and you guys can call in.
Because let me pull up this Instagram thing. When you look at the Billboard charts, right, and when you look at the airplay time, Nicki Minaj had 4.0 M, so I think it's like 4 million airplay, and then somebody like a Kodak Black had 21.3 million. So like clearly the song's a new song. Radio has not been playing it. Yes, she went on James Corden. Yes, she promoted herself. Yes, she was at the Clippers game. Yes, she had all these StationHead, whatever, she was promoting her music. Every artist promotes. She was doing what an artist is supposed to do. But I'm saying that she didn't have enough radio airplay. And again, with the way Billboard rules change, you need a lot of airplay time. The first thing. Second thing is you also need a lot of streaming. Streaming she did okay, but radio airplay time she didn't have. She had little to no airplay radio time. She had playlisting, she had a push, but she didn't have radio. That's what hindered her. She had stills. But like again, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with nobody. Like y'all can say whatever y'all want to say in the comments, whatever. Like at the end of the day, Nicki Minaj is solidified. And for whoever came on here and was saying like, oh, Nicki was saying like that she don't care about the charts, that's not true. Nicki said in an interview, she said that she does care about the charts. She said that she does want the song to go number one. She said, but at the end of the day, charts don't solidify who she is. Because at the end of the day, she's a queen. She's a legend. She don't have to prove nothing anymore. She's done the work already. She's still out here because she still got it in her. But it don't mean that like the chart's gonna solidify who she is. But she definitely cares to go number one. She definitely wants that number one record. That's why she was going everywhere promoting herself. So I don't understand why people were saying, oh, Nicki said she didn't want the number one. She don't care about number one. She never said that. That's not true.
Okay, so, let me rate this. Galliano says, why does Eva know everything about Nicki? How are you so deep into Nicki, but you don't like her? Maybe we can get into that. And then two, Nicki Minaj unfollows Normani. Maybe I don't really know what that tea is. We have to get into that. Maybe I'll dig into that later on this week. I don't know what that's about. But Nicki does that. Let me take another call real quick. 6125. Why do you think she unfollowed Normani? Hold on. I don't see. Hold on. 6125. Oh, here we go. Okay, 6125, you're live on the air.
How are you doing?
Good. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so this is how I feel about the whole situation because it's a lot to cover, so I'm going to go fast. Did Nicki want the number one? Yes. I know the other competing fan bases are going to say she's being a sore loser. It is what it is. The Barbs did so much that week to get the song to go number one. I'm glad she said something because as a person, as a Barb who bought as many eligible copies as I could, I wanted her to say something because it was an exhausting week. I know it sounds really corny, but I'm just going to say it was an exhausting week with us streaming and buying. So to ever get up on there and say, hey, guys, take the load off. I'm glad she said that because I think it was for the fans. Now, with streaming, I don't have an issue with streams counting as much as they do. Streams, it's the future. It's more accessible. And I don't even have an issue with them limiting the amount of copies that we can buy going towards Billboard, because you can still buy a lot of copies on multiple websites. But the radio is a big deal. I just want to let you know, last week, when Easy on Me was number 2, 91%, this is a fact, this is not a guess number, 91% of the points that went towards Billboard for Adele are coming from radio. Only 9% are coming from streams and coming from sales. Billboard and the RA, they're in bed with the record labels because record labels pay for these things. They want to control what artists, not just debut at number 1, they want to control what artists are making it that high onto the charts. And that's what the fans are really upset about. And yes, Eva is correct. They're not just targeting Nicki. BTS really, they're the fastest group to get 7 number 1s as fast as they did. But the issue is, if she can't get radio, how is an artist who does not get radio play, who doesn't pay for the radio play, when you keep delegitimizing their need to buy and to support that artist, it harms the artist. BTS made a big argument because some people were like, well, it's just mass buying. Mass buying shouldn't be eligible. But it's incentivizing not to pay the artist. Artists get per stream 0.0031 cents, sometimes 0.0041. That's what they get. You get the.
Let me ask you this, and I really don't know. I really don't know, and I really don't know the answer. So I'm not even being facetious. Like, do people listen to the radio? I don't ever stream my music. I don't get my music from the radio. So are people really are people really even listening to the radio like that anymore? Radio seems to me like a dying industry. Like, people are not really listening to the radio. So how does it count so much? Like, how does that impact so much? I feel like people are streaming more than they're listening to the radio.
Well, I mean, I would only be able to guess that, right? I live in New York, so I'm hardly ever in a car. But regardless of whether or not people are actually listening to the radio, the figures for radio and how much that count towards Billboard, that is public information. So I just want to say, when the Barbs or any fan base says radio play this, radio play that, it's not a conspiracy. The numbers are there. Adele had 89.1 million streams for radio, and that counted to 91% of her points on Billboard. And I'm using her because she's the biggest example of that, but Justin Bieber, piss poor sales, piss poor streams, 70 million streams coming from the radio, keeping him there. But we've seen this before with Justin Bieber. Yummy was horrible, but why was it still on the radio? I mean, why was it still on the charts in the top 5 for as long as it is? Because of the radio deals. Now, Nicki not debuting at number 1, we want that for Nicki, the Barbs, because she's our queen. We want that for her. But I can deal with the number 2. What bothers me is the fact that these fans, they really come together. They buy this woman's music. Any person who puts money out of their pocket on top of the paid subscription that all of the Barbs have and all the other fan bases have, they put it towards these people's careers. Luckily, it goes straight into her pocket, which is why Nicki is the most financially successful female rapper. And at the end of the day, people care about money, so our queen's going to be good. But it is really disheartening. And I can just say, the last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to repeat myself, I was glad to wake up in the morning and have Nicki say something. Because it's really disheartening when you put all of this hard work in, knowing that the radio is going to keep blocking. And there's songs with artists who don't even write their music, who do not deserve to be in the top 10. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
They're talking about radio playlisting and all this. Honey, Encanto was not on no radio. It was bots. I'm confused as what radio station was Encanto being played on. I just want to know that. Y'all got beat by a Disney song. The points were really low. The points were really, really low. Name a radio station Encanto was played on. since you guys are saying radio play, like, Encanto was not played on no damn radio. Y'all could have easily beat them. It's a fact. The problem is Nicki fought for streaming, and now it's coming back to bite her because she can't keep up with the streaming. This is why she worked with the Lil Baby, because Lil Baby devours streaming. But not a lot of Lil Baby fans are Nicki fans. That's the problem. So how did y'all get beat by a Disney song that doesn't get radio play?
But it still have more radio plays according to Billboard more than Nicki song. So whether radio was playing that song or not, according to Billboard that you guys look at so much, and y'all rejoicing that Nicki didn't go number one, it clearly says that it has, I think, 6 million radio plays and Nicki has 4. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but it still have more. So I don't know how it's number one, but it's number one somehow because people, again, radio is the biggest part, but streaming is another part too. So the Barbs need to do better in streaming. I mean, nobody's taking away
so
that
take
from
your L.
anybody.
Instead of focusing on buying, you should have been streaming. Just take the L. It's fine.
Oh,
but
no,
number two is not a bad
I have
L.
to say something. I have to say something, Zach, because I said something. I'm going to listen very carefully, Ava. No, we will stream, but I'm not going to not buy. And I don't think any fan base, not just Nicki Minaj's fan base, even Cardi B's fan base, everyone's fan base, stream, because if you want chart positions, do that, but do not incentivize not buying for your artist. That is how artists are big one day, but because they're in 360s and they don't like their music, that is how they may be hot and big records, but then 10 years later don't have any money. So no, do both. But if you only have to do one, Barbs, anyone out there, please keep buying your artist's music. That is how you sustain them. That is how you put it on their
they
table.
Can keep buying, and they can keep being number 2 or less. Because at the end of the day, this is the future. Your Faye fought for streaming. Now she can't keep up with the streaming. Is that not a fact?
Wow.
Y'all claim that if it wasn't for
what's
Nicki,
your
the
point?
streaming era wouldn't be what it is.
So
I got a
what would be your
point. Y'all can't get upset about it. It's a fact. It came out the woman's mouth.
Here's the thing. Can she not keep up with the streaming? Because if it was just she can't keep up with the new era, well, that's funny because they keep taking away her sales. So it seems like she can keep up just fine. Billboard seems like they can't keep up with the pace of the Barbs. Why are they changing the
and
buying?
Billboard,
Who cares?
Billboard
they changed the rules.
Who cares how much people are paying? These are not conglomerate people. This is not Selena Gomez and her camp years ago when they had entire farms of streaming farms. These are people who work 9 to 5 jobs. These are people using their own money. These are people using their money out of their own pocket. These are people using money out of their own pocket to support an artist. There's nothing more valiant to that when you want art to sustain itself.
But y'all were dragging
Cardi
when she debuted at number 2. So keep that same energy.
I didn't mention Cardi. I didn't.
No, but I'm letting you know
that
this is why Onika Tanya Mirage has been dragged all day and has been ranting on Valentine's Day. She's probably upset her man didn't even give her a gift for Valentine's Day. Girl, hand him over the credit card so he can buy you a gift so you can be a little happy.
You're deflecting.
Wow.
You're deflecting. This is not a low vibrational bar on the line.
That's so uncomfortable.
You're deflecting. You're deflecting right now.
Because your fave literally went online and tried to discredit everybody who has got a number 1. She went on StationHead and talked about people being on payola. Payola this, payola that. Girl, take your L. You knew 4 days prior that you didn't get the number 1. The Disney song beat you because your website sales were not what you thought they were going to be.
Nicki Minaj has nothing to prove to nobody. At the end of the day, like,
well, then,
if
you don't got nothing to prove to nobody, why did
number
she keep,
2?
Why does she keep making excuses for why she doesn't get certain things?
I don't care how many diamond plaques, how many hit records.
You do, by the way, you do know that Billboard's making a new. I just want you to know. I don't know if you're up on the info. Do you know today Billboard announced?
And we're
okay, then so then you would know. So then you would know. This is a question for you. It's a question, so you'll get to respond. Don't worry. So you would know then. Billboard's making a new chart. Internet. They're making it not replacing the Hot 100. They're adding a new chart where you can buy as many copies as you want, and it's for local and international hits. Why did they do that today?
Well, hopefully Nicki goes number 1 on that one.
Why did they do that?
Then we can celebrate her.
Today? Why did they do that today? Why did they do that today?
Yay!
Why did they do that?
Nicki was lying.
No,
She couldn't say.
so they're afraid of Nicki? They're afraid of Nicki, or maybe Billboard saw all the hard work that the Barbs did and said, look, we want to make it fair, but you know what?
God.
What we're going to do is make it next. Why would Billboard make a new chart?
The Barbs
That's called
have
impact.
anything to do. That no, it's not called impact because you guys are not doing Drake numbers. Let's keep it a buck.
Wow.
We had 48,000 pure copies. So what? These girls can't even do that for a general sale. Like, so what are we talking about? Billboard. Let me say this, Armon, before I leave because I gotta go. Child, I don't got time for this. Billboard.
I got
is
time. Don't worry, I got time.
But yeah, hold on, listen. Billboard is pandering to these new artists because they know these new, not just the girls, the boys too. They know that these new artists cannot really sell, so they push more on streaming and they have their labels push their music on radio, so it does well. That's why Gunna did better than The Weeknd because somebody like The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, BTS, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, their fan base
because The Weeknd's album was trash.
Hold on, let me finish, please. They actually buy music, so with that, like they see that clearly that these people are going number one because their fan base is buying their music. So what they do is they try to take away sales and they count more streamings and airplays again. So these artists cannot do it because they can't understand why BTS, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Nicki are, well, Nicki don't go number one, I guess, whatever. But they don't understand why these artists are going number one consistently. Like they don't get it. So they try to pander to people like Gunna, Megan, Cardi, all these people y'all see, Future, like that can't really get number one hits without radio playlisting, without push. Without paying DJs to play their
First
music
of all, Cardi
time.
got Up was number one because the general public actually liked it. It wasn't even about radio playlists. I can send you the radio playlisting, and you guys actually had more radio playlisting for this single that just came out than Cardi did for Up. We don't want to do that because we can definitely pull up the chart data. Definitely.
Armon, I have a question for you because I actually want to know your opinion on this. So let's just try to be very specific just for this question. You know, when BTS got those 7 number ones faster than any other group, it was because it was Butter. Butter was a song by theirs that stayed at number one for 10 weeks. The sales that the fan base was doing was insane. It was like 200K one time on 1 week alone, and not just the debut. Okay, so let's say mass buying is a problem, but I want your opinion on this. What do you think should be more valid? A band or an artist that is mass buying legitimate copies, or and staying number one for 10 weeks because of that, or staying at number one for 10 weeks because you have 89 million radio streams. And that is not prioritizing the consumer at all, by the way. I just want you to know which one should be more valid, because Billboard seems to think that radio should be more valid.
I think that purchasing should be more valid. I would go with that. I think, but that's just not the way that we are.
Exactly. I'm glad I got that opinion.
You want a
Valentine's
Valentine's
on the
cookie?
show, just so y'all know that. Just so we know that. Prioritize the consumer, because radio does not prioritize the consumer, and radio is not a reflection of who's listening, but yet it counts so much.
Honey, the reason they even did that was because BTS was putting out instrumentals that were tropical, Jamaican, African. Y'all forgot how many different versions of Butter they put out? Just like Nicki put out instrumentals for this song as well.
BTS goes on world tours. BTS sells out stadiums.
Okay, so then your favorite BTS is fine, but you weren't going up against BTS.
Hold on, let me read this. My name is not for sale. Hold on. Billboard is a metric system. Radio is still a major medium as well as streams. I honestly think Barbs are mad. Mass buying doesn't count. All sales count for the sale charts, but not for Hot 100 and 200.
Correct.
Okay. It's okay. You guys went up against Encanto, not BTS. So what's the excuse, sis?
Well,
I'm dead.
We don't talk about Bruce. No.
Okay, so we got that. Hold on.
And what did I send you, Armon? Was I lying? Did she not say
now this is Nicki.
Grammy
Now
winner?
this was a little cringy. This is Nicki Minaj's website where she's selling T-shirts that says starring Grammy award-winning artist Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Baby. Do we have a problem? She definitely doesn't have a Grammy, so why would she sell that merchandise? That was interesting.
Hours.
Oh, they saying check my DM. My phone about to die. We might have to finish this up on StationHead draw. Let's see. Oh, let me see. Okay, here we're gonna put the numbers up.
And I'm not cruel, you guys. I just want that fan base to keep the same energy they did to downplay and discredit Cardi's win, because Armon, you were there when this fan base called her a flop for debuting at number 2. It's called karma. You get what you
And
get.
yes,
You
we were
gotta
also
look at
here.
karma.
We were also here when people said Say So Remix was trash, and then it wanted to be Beyonce, and then it destroyed it. So we're not going to play that game. And I don't think you're cruel, because I can defend the Queen just fine, as you can see on here.
Wait, what happened? You could what?
I said if people who are calling you cruel, do not call her cruel. She hasn't. I don't think you're cruel, because I don't mind
she cut
being
the
here
check.
defending
I
the
was on
Queen.
set. Love her. Thank you for the money, Onika Tanya Mirage. But we all knew you weren't. You're not capable of doing that unless it's a pop rap song. Even then, I don't even think your pop rap era would sell anything this era. Like, when your fave can actually top 10 by herself, she hasn't done that in a long time. Long.
And when your
long.
fave can actually headline a tour, and when they can
How
headline
can
a
they in a
tour,
pandemic? Darling, we're in a pandemic.
child,
Y'all talking
please,
about
Cardi
world
B
tour
been out
when
for
it's a
5 years
pandemic.
and have not headlined a tour.
Doesn't your
Where's her
fave
album?
still... Doesn't
Where's
your face
her
still
album?
owe certain countries
Where's Cardi
that
B's album?
canceled?
Oh,
No,
okay.
Ava, you are intelligent. Ava, you are intelligent, but you can't do that. Like, you cannot hypothetically say, hypothetically,
it's
Cardi
2
could have
against
toured. She
1.
didn't tour.
It's
She hasn't
maybe you guys
toured.
should go on a
She
date.
hasn't
But
toured. She
you
hasn't
can't
toured.
keep up when it comes with facts, darling. Your face still owes you guys some concerts that she canceled because they weren't selling.
What happened to Bruce soundtrack?
Or because
It
the
flopped.
bar were
Female
yelling,
side did better.
Cardi B, Cardi B. Did y'all forget about that?
Bruce soundtrack flopped.
Okay, so we got some numbers on the screen. I don't know how to read these dang numbers, but I got some numbers on the
Flopped,
screen.
so there's no conversation.
So this looks like
Cardi dropping
Spotify.
berries.
This looks like, what is this,
Oh, I
radio?
love tomatoes. Thank you. Shift your guild assist. I don't like when girls with no parts in their wigs comment. It's a key.
All right, y'all. Listen, we're gonna have to wrap this up. I love the dialogue that we had got into today. I'm gonna have to chop this segment up and let this be a segment all on its own. But I appreciate you
and
guys all for
one
calling
more
in.
thing.
Go ahead.
One more thing.
Uh-huh.
One more thing. If you guys can, head over to StationHead and follow Nicki Minaj and donate her some money, because she's out here giving $20 to certain girls so they could stream her song.
Wow.
Congrats on number 2.
Okay.
All right. Well, Armon, you have a great day, and
You
I'm happy
too.
that Nicki she gets to eat off all this because she writes her music, so she doesn't have to, overextend herself to make a buck. That 0.0031
one more thing.
doesn't really,
Armon.
that
Armon, one more
0.00
thing.
doesn't really go a long way with them streams, but
Armon,
she's eating.
Armon,
Yes.
One more thing. We will see them next week when they free fall 45 spots.
Wow.
Love y'all. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you on StationHead
Right.
with Armon.
Are you
Hey,
guys
Bruce,
gonna be?
everybody.
Are you guys
Hey, Bruce.
still gonna be streaming? Do we have a problem, or have you guys started streaming Bussin'?
We're gonna be streaming both.
Good luck. Bussin' is not going to make it.
Maybe.
Bussin' is a flop.
It's a trier. It's trying, but you know what? Let's wait for the lead single.
Bussin' was supposed to be. It needs to be. Do we have a problem? But all right, we'll see. We'll be back. We'll talk about it later. Thanks for calling in. Okay. Listen, I have to wrap it up here, but I'm going to read some
Thank
questions.
you for using
God
Blog
bless
Talk Radio.
Eva So.
Goodbye.
She's lost. Wow. Someone get into her mental institution ASAP. Wow. J. Michael says, I just wanted to say Encanto is a whole bop. So no Diablo Bruno Lamb laughing my ass off. Okay. You also know way boy. Whatever you said to me, baby. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Well, people been ready to get that out all day. I want to make sure that you guys were able to get into some things. I love you all for watching. And this platform is a balanced platform for everyone, all right? So make sure you guys like the video, share the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. And thanks for stopping by. I love y'all. Peace out. Happy Valentine's Day. insane.